Okay, good. So we're recording. I just gotta sync up the Yi. I pulled over here so that I could just do this. This is my little iPhone for my bike. I just start up the Yi app and just check the angle. Oh god, I'm freaking rolling. Oops. Just pulled over here. I'm on my way to work. Just gotta do this real quick. Come on. Here we go. E4K. Connect now. There we go. Alright, 2.5K, 30p. Is that angle good? I could do a little bit more that way. Sync it. Alright, I think I like that. Put it down a little bit, right? Ooh, ooh. Don't go nowhere. Let's put it down a notch or two. Ooh. Phone was ready to just slide off and go somewhere else. All right, I think I like that. Is it recording? Oh wait, hold on. Are we recording yet? Okay, yeah, recording. Here we go. Now let's sync. All right, good. There we go. Perfect. Get my glove back on. All right, so got a good amount of riding in yesterday. And that's weird how that looks off, but it's not. Anyway, got a good amount of riding in yesterday, and let's get over here. All right, we look good. Yeah, we look good. We're good. Yeah, so I got a good amount of riding in yesterday, and I was gonna take the car today, but man, I went out for a walk and I got a nice it's buffeting around a lot. I got a real nice walk in, and I said, you know what, man, it started to clear up, and I was walking on a rail trail, and I made a little post to Instagram, and I said, nah, man, I think I'm gonna take the bike. So here I am, out on a bike, out for a nice little journey. Hope everyone has been enjoying that their fall riding on the East Coast. I know a lot of us try to get out as much as we can in between the times that we can. I'm hoping that maybe I can get a run up to the New England area one of these days that I'm off. I'll have to see. Not really too sure how that's gonna play out, but I'll see if maybe I could try and make it happen. Maybe I could do a day ride, leave real early and just venture up and do some vlogging up there, take a few photos, and I don't know, something I have to look into. So yeah, I wanted to talk about these bars, these mini ape bars that I got on here. And as you guys know, before I had the SSC, the Royal Star Deluxe Tour bars, which were nice bars, but they're designed, they bring them a little further back to you, and those were nice, but I just, after a while, I kind of felt like that wasn't exactly where I wanted my hands to be. Oh man, they paved this, I can't believe it. This to be some ruts like right here in the middle that you used to just run into. It sucked. But anyhow, yeah. So my good buddy Cody, he had purchased some bars online. So he hits me up and he's like, man, I know you changed, you know, these bars before. He's like, you know, what do I gotta do? So we got talking. I told him about, you know, what the process is, and he got them on, and he shows me the bars, and he's like, yeah, it's got these the Paul Yaffee bagger bars. I think that's the name of them. If it's different, I'll just type it in here somewhere. Anyway, so he shows me the bars, and I'm like, man, yo, that's pretty cool. I was like, you know, I've been looking into mini apes. I mean, you guys know I made a video about it, and so he sent me quite a few pics of them, and just how they all mounted up and everything, and I gave it a good look over. He sent me a pic of him with his hands on the bars and everything, and sitting, and I was like, man, you know, that is not bad. And looking over the measurements, I was like, you know, that might be something I wouldn't mind checking out. So after looking them over a little more, a little bit of thought, I bit the bullet on that one and ordered them. And I tell you, they came in really nicely packed. I didn't do any, well, I had started to do video on them, and I was like, you know what, it was just a little bit tedious. So I said, you know what, all right, we'll just go into it a little bit later. I'll have photos. Maybe I'll even do a walk around or something, or to try and do a video, basically, I guess showing me on the bike, I guess sitting with the bars in position. I did have to move my backrest. I adjusted it that way I'm not slouching, you know what I mean? I'm sitting pretty much straight up, which is really nice, and my arms are just extended towards the bars in a slight downward position, which is great. So they are a little on the wide side, but not too wide. I don't think they're any wider than my stock 2014 bars. So you really do get you get some nice control over it. I do find them to be a lot more comfortable right now, and I think that's mainly due to my hands being just a little bit further up as opposed to being further down where they were before, you know, they were a little bit lower, and I had a hard time figuring out, okay, like what height do I want them. I had them up higher, and up higher it just didn't work. I mean, my hands were like this, you know, and I was like, man, that's not gonna work. You know, this is just not gonna work. I need my hands to be just a little bit straighter. And all right, like, if now probably wondering, well, are your hands in the wind now? Yes, they are, but not very much, very little bit. I get a little bit of a draft of wind that runs right over my knuckles, pretty much. And if I put my hands out like this in the ready position that I like to call it, right, you get a little bit of a nice air. It flows right underneath your gloves. In the summertime, that's actually great. But wintertime, you'll probably end up having your hands pretty much closed. But wintertime, I've got heated gloves and the leather gloves and all of that stuff. So that will most likely be the setup that I'll be running with. And it should be fine. But I can't complain. I mean, I'm really happy. They were not hard at all to go in. I did have to make a little puncture hole on the right-hand side for my little starter box thingy right here to set into. And other than that, I mean, they were great. I mean, they're made for a Harley, but you know, they fit up great, and I mean, I really can't complain. It did take me a while to just adjust them and get them set up to where I want them to be. I had them a little further forward, and I didn't like them too far forward. I had to bring them back a little bit because, for one, my seat is not a stock seat, so my seat sits me back just a tad. Not a lot, but a tad, and it's enough that certain things you do notice a change in. Anyway, and like I said, I mean, I really can't complain. Could they be a little narrower? I think if you're doing a long day, yeah, maybe you might want them to be a little narrower. My commutes to work is actually pretty much fine, and I mean, my commute to work is about 70 miles, but you could look at what I'm riding through, you know, so my commutes to work are actually not that bad. Oh man. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, I think it was a great purchase, and I always break Cody's chops, and you know, I thank him for sharing that little bit of information with me in this purchase. I've looked at a few other brands, and they have some nice brands out there, but they can get expensive. These were $100 for them, and I think the money was well spent. I saw some other ones that are like, man, you talking about $300 and $400, man. Bars, I almost had no idea bars were that expensive. I didn't think that they were. But once you get into these specialty bends and these extended heights, and I mean, and that doesn't even include the cables. The cables are, oh my god, the cables are like, you're looking at what, like $300 for cables? Thankfully, I didn't have to change these cables, and I lube my clutch wire pretty much like every thousand miles, somewhere around there. I lube it just so that it stays. I want it to stay decent, you know. I don't want it to get dried up in there or anything like that. You just got to keep it lubed. They tell you how to do it in the manual. It's really not hard to do. But yeah, so that's me talking about that bar life, yo. And I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. I'm out.